Hi and welcome to Task Force Orange, a very special battle report. I'm trying something new to see if this sort of format works for after action reports for Star Wars Armada. Our game today is a Wave 3 game between myself and Paul, played the other night via Vassal. Wave 3 is great fun. I've played Paul before. He's an excellent player with plenty of skills. Will said skills pay the bills, etc. Paul is playing 2 ISDs, 3 Gazantis, and no squadrons. I am playing Home 1, 2 AF2Bs, 4 A-Wings, and 1 of the Rebel flotillas. Paul has initiative, but I have deployment advantage. I put the station in the corner, hoping to keep it out of the way. The rocks and things go down. We're playing fire lanes at Paul's choice. I make a massive mistake from the very beginning and put the fire lane taken 5 distance from the edge instead of 4. A slight advantage, probably wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever. Here come the first ships. Motti is the General Admiral of the Imperial Forces. He's on that Gazanti in the corner, hiding away. Here come the first ISDs. My first frigate. And the entire Imperial fleet is down before I place Home 1 on the other frigate. I decided to put them on this side. We'll concentrate on the left-hand side of the board. We'll remove that setup area and we're off. Putting in orders and different things. The ship's moving forward. Here's activation advantage first and last, which will make a bit of difference in this game. Here's Home 1 swinging as hard as it can to the left, or to its right, to my left. And that's pretty much it. The last ISD travelling at a great rate of knots, positioning itself for an early run next turn. Here come the squadrons just jumping out in front, and we do the little measurement to see who gets which tokens. Ends up being all 3 belong to the rebels. Beginning of the next turn, and here comes the ISD shooting away at my Home 1. I don't have ESMs on my Home 1, but it wouldn't have made much difference because he had Intel Officer. So even if I'd been able to brace against his many accuracies, I wouldn't have only been able to brace once before I lost the thing. And of course he ends up on the station, because I'm putting the station out of the way. It didn't end up out of the way. There's a little bit of a schmozzle here where I shoot at his Gazanti and then at his other assault frigate before we realise that he is Admiral Motti and therefore has an extra hull, and the Gazanti needs to actually come back. So excuse us while we just make a little bit of a mistake here. But the beautiful thing about about Vassal is that when you make mistakes, you can undo them. So here we are back to where we were before. I have 4 perfect hits and 2 accuracies to stop his ship from scattering and evading. I concentrate fire and add an extra red, which makes up doing a hit. I should also point out that I have TRCs on my assault frigates, which certainly helps with the extra hit. And so I end up killing that ship instead. Indeed, I do. Rather than fire at the ISD on the right of the screen, I end up changing my mind and firing the one on the left, so that the idea that all my ships can concentrate on that one ship. My plan in killing the Gazantis is simply to gain activation advantage and to stop him doing his token schmozzle thing. He shoots at my ship and he also shoots at my Home 1, but with a double miss, which was very convenient for me. Probably wouldn't have made much difference in when that ship died. The ISD has danced forward in front of the Home 1 and is outside of my side arc, but it is in the side arc of my everything else. My other assault frigate opens fire and gets a perfect number of dice after a reroll to kill that Gazanti. A bit more shooting into the ISD on the left. I'm going to ram it. He's going to take a hull damage. I'm going to take a hull damage. Motti flies away in the corner. My freighter, my flotilla, ends up ramming Home 1 and damaging itself slightly, which will make a bit of difference in a moment. It's probably time to zoom in so we can see all the action. His ISD sets up for a nice run on my ship. He's also got tractor beams, which should be pointed out. So he's slowing down my ships, taking away their nav tokens, that sort of thing. My home 1 is in quite a bit of damage at this point. Oh, that was my home 1 firing at him, sorry. My A-Wing shooting at the Star Destroyer, do 3 damage, perfectly average. Fire lanes again, I get 2, he gets 1. We've both avoided flying onto them at the moment, which is a good thing to do. Here he goes with his first activation, shooting at home 1, and he blows it. That's terrible rolling from an ISD, particularly with auto experts. He gets a CF token to reroll one of them. 4 hits from the front of an ISD. He locks out the brace, so it works out. His side arc is much more effective. Doing some great shooting there. He has H9 laser turrets on his Star Destroyers, which makes a bit of difference. So he can choose that accuracy, stopping me bracing, doing all the rest of it. So home 1 is now in quite a bit of damage, no shields left and 6 hull remaining. My home 1 has squadron order and opens fire on his ship. I shouldn't have moved them, I made a little mistake there, but that's alright. I've realised later that I have leading shots, so I could be re-rolling all of these dice, but such is life. Que sera, sera. C'est la vie, c'est la vie. Damals, das ist noch jung war, gab es noch echte Schauspielerinnen. And at that point, home 1 blows up from the ISD, shooting me in the back, which is lovely. He rams me with his ISD and starts tractoring and doing all sorts of wonderful damage. But I still have 2 assault frigates firing into that Star Destroyer, and I've got TRCs which add a little bit more damage along the way as well. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. If I can focus one of them down, then I should be in a position to kill the other one. Admiral Modi continues running away in the corner, but he's getting closer to the battle line, which will be an issue. And there goes the ISD, having taken a bit of damage. Move the squadrons, the various things. Here goes the Gazanti. I'd forgotten he'd been no, it's not a Gazanti, it's whatever it is, a transport. It's been tractor beamed, which makes a little bit of difference. We're up to the next turn. We're going into turn 4. And he shoots the transport, and because I'd rammed myself before, I still die to that even after my successful evasion of one of his dice. He's going to chase me down and I'm going to shoot him to bits. He's still in pretty good health here. He's at what, 13 hull? And he's got some, I've stripped his shields, and 2 assault frigates with TRCs are going to chop him to slowly chop him to pieces. I get a couple of chances here. I'll slide along a bit so we can see where that's the end of the board there. So he's very close to the edge of the board. And I don't do enough to damage him. I stop his scatter, but he can evade the double. He's outside of blue, all the rest of it. Maybe I should have put a greater focus on killing Modi, I'm not sure. But my arcs are still doing some considerable damage to that ISD. And I decided rather than sending the A-Wings against the ISD, I will send them against the Gazanti for next turn. Here up to turn 5. We do the tokens again. Paul gets 2 of the tokens. I get, and the third is both have the same number of dice. We both have 8 dice on the one on the left. So he gets 2 tokens to my none. He puts up some shields. He shoots my assault frigate. Doesn't kill it just yet. He doesn't ram me, but he comes closer. He lands on top of the token, which is always good news. My assault frigate failed to get the necessary accuracy to shoot the Gazanti, so I didn't bother concentrating fire or anything else against him. But I've done some more damage to the ISD. He's shooting my squadrons, and here's a silly thing. I wasn't thinking. I just threw them over there thinking he'll end up somewhere here. I've ended up putting them in black range. I lose an A-Wing. Would it make a big difference at the end of the game? Probably not. I'm not sure. Maybe it would have. Who can tell? I run into my own ships. That happens. My my A-Wings fire, 2 of them hit. If 3 of them had hit, he would have burnt his scatter, and that would have made it slightly different at the beginning of next turn. Maybe not. Well, yes, absolutely. I would have done some damage to it. I needed to do 1 hit and it would die. Maybe he would have activated first. He shoots in his turn. He kills my AF2. He rams the other AF2. He's only got 1 hull left, so he's going to have to hit me and go pop. He ceases to exist. I get my last chance on that chap, and no accuracies. Concentrating fire, the whole thing. Here's where we need home 1. Here's where home 1 makes a big difference. But he escapes. And off he goes. That's the end of the game. He shoots some more of my A-Wings for a little effect. That's the end of the turn. Game 6. I've destroyed all of his fleet except for his 1 Gazanti with his admiral on board. He's destroyed all of my fleet except for 1 assault frigate. So from our calculations it works out that I've got 345 points or something. Where did all that numbers go? Talk amongst yourselves. I've killed 200. He's killed 280 points of mine because I've still got 3 of the A-Wings. I've got 345 of his, and I've got 9 tokens to his 6. So it is a rebel victory. It's probably a 7-3 or an 8-2, and a good game. Good to Paul. I think he's a very brave man trying to take no squadrons into a wave 3 meta. I think I'm very brave with my 4 A-Wings. It certainly isn't enough against Darth Veggie's Yavaris, Luke Skywalker, Bomber Command, Adar Talon combination. That's incredibly destructive. It can kill an assault frigate in a turn. So I strongly urge everyone out there to take at least some sort of squadron option as we head into Wave 3. Thanks for watching. This has been LTD for Task Force Orange, a different kind of battle report. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought.